Hey everyone, Jason here again from Lift Fitness. I'm going to go over a nice exercise today that can be used for busting through some plateaus on your back squat. One of the most common questions I get from both my soldiers and my clients is how do I bust through a plateau and build strength and get a new PR on my 1 rep max for my back squat. This method is not only good for just busting through plateaus, but it's a good practice to get into, work it into your routine maybe once or 3 times a month. It's called the overload and rack method. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up on a bar. Now, when you go into this exercise, you want it to be after you've already completed a strength routine or a strength workout, or at the very least, you want to build up to the 90% of your 1 rep max before attempting this. So go ahead and go through your dynamic warm up, hit the squats, get your body nice and warm and ready to do this exercise. You don't want to do this exercise cold. But you're going to start out with your 90% of your 1 rep max, and then you're going to add 5 to 10% to that until you reach 20% over your 1 rep max. I recommend doing all this with a calculator and writing the weights down first, then hit the gym and try this after your workout. Otherwise, you'll be sitting there counting on your fingers all day. You're not going to actually squat this weight. What you're going to do is you're going to focus on prepping to unrack the weight. Not having proper body position and not being tight and not having a good prep before unracking the weight contributes to a lot of injuries I see in the gym, especially when people are going to break their 1 rep max and get a new PR, or just improve strength in their squats by going heavy. Not prepping properly, it makes the bar seem heavier, it'll psych you out, and when you go to step backwards away from the rack, if your body's not prepped, that's where a lot of injuries happen. I see a lot of guys, they come up underneath the rack, they're soft, core's not tight, they're not breathing properly, they step back and boop, there you go. Just like a thunderbolt to the back, they've pulled a muscle, and now they have to rack the weight, and now they're out of the gym for several weeks. So this is a great exercise to put into your routine just to practice that prep. So what you're going to do is you're going to work up to 90% of your 1 rep max. You're going to go to do that first set. I like to center myself up on the bar, make sure my chest is centered. Hands are a little slightly wider than shoulder width apart. I set up my feet. Go ahead and use the old method of screwing your feet into the ground, which means you're pushing your weight onto the outer, more of the outside of your foot than the inside of your foot. And that's also going to keep your knees from pronating. I go ahead and I set up underneath the bar, prep myself, kind of psych myself up a little bit. Get my breathing ready. And then I set up underneath the bar. I bring my feet under. Now this rack is slightly lower than what I'm used to, but that's okay. I'm just going to set up. My hips are unlocked. Hips back a little bit. Knees slightly bent. I'm squeezing my elbows in, trying to break my rib cage with my elbows. And that's gonna activate my lats and help form that platform on your back on which the bar sits. You also want to squeeze the life out of this bar, almost like you're trying to bend the bar. And that's going to make your whole upper body tight and ready to get this load off of the rack. Breathing is another important thing you want to focus on. You want to breathe in, and when you're coming up, you want to let that air out. That's also going to be another factor that helps you tighten up your core and get your body ready to take this weight. The last thing I'm going to talk about is your head. You want your head in a neutral position. You don't want your head up and you don't want your head down. You want it neutral. Spine alignment is very important. So I'm going to get under this weight, squeeze in. I'm going to unrack it, and you're going to hold for 10 seconds. Trying to bend that bar, squeeze that bar, keep those lats tight, core tight, everything's tight. And then when you go to rack it nice and slow, come off it nice and steady, don't come off it fast, and then go ahead and pull yourself out from under that bar. Go ahead and add 5%, 10%, work your way up to 20% over your 1 rep max, and just practice getting under that weight and prep that body for that adaptation to the heavier weight. I hope this helped you out. Stay fit, and we'll see you on the next video.